was shocked. I woke up to that news. I got here and they're like, man, you see everything that happened? I'm like, not quite.
LeBron James side-eyeing LeBron, wondering if he's really clean or just being protected by power. This whole thing went nuclear the second his longtime friend and ex-teammate Damon Jones got hit with that federal indictment. That's when fans realized this wasn't just gossip. This was real. Court records spilled everything. Jones had allegedly been secretly selling injury details before major Lakers games, including that Wild Bucks showdown in February 2023 and the Thunder matchup in January 2024. Prosecutors even pulled out a message where Jones told someone to get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight. Hours later, boom, LeBron suddenly sat out with a sore ankle and the Bucks smoked the Lakers. You can't make this up. What started as a simple case against Jones turned into something way darker once the FBI turned its focus on LeBron himself. Federal agents stormed both his Los Angeles and Ohio homes, snatching up his phones, laptops, and stacks of cash records, hunting for proof that Jones's betting operation had ties to LeBron's personal accounts. There are still no official charges, but the streets are already talking, and no one's calling LeBron innocent anymore. But here's where things get straight up insane. The FBI's newest findings flipped the entire story upside down. The NBA keeps saying LeBron had no clue about Jones's shady gambling hustle. Insiders even told The Athletic their friendship was purely personal.
We are investigating anyone and everyone depending not on their income. And you can think about it. These players make millions, particularly in the NBA, as their contracts are guaranteed. Yet the draw of winning comes at any cost to them. If they're alleged now, but if they're convicted of their crimes that they've been charged with. So to me, it's really about the addiction side and how much provided help do we give these athletes as they go through their athletic career.
But once federal agents dug deeper, that narrative fell apart. Investigators found private messages between Jones and LeBron himself, and suddenly, LeBron's name appeared on the search warrant, not as a witness, but as a subject. The warrant even included the phrase, coordination of privileged information, which usually screams conspiracy. And here's the wildest twist. That key Bucks game, it went down 2 days after LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. He skipped the very next game, the same night Jones allegedly dropped his insider betting tip. Coincidence? Or a full-blown cover-up? Fans aren't buying the innocent act anymore. You can't ignore the timing of all this chaos. It's hitting the NBA right when the league's image is already going up in flames. Millions of dollars have gone missing. Reputations are on the line, and now the king himself is caught in the middle of it all. The feds already hit Chauncey Billups and Miami's Terry Rozier with charges under the same operation. Nothing but bet. But this time, the headlines aren't about them. They're all about LeBron James. When footage dropped of FBI SUVs lined up outside his Brentwood mansion, the internet lost its mind. Some fans tried to downplay it as collateral damage from Damon Jones's mess, but legal experts weren't fooled. The FBI doesn't raid a witness unless something way bigger is brewing. LeBron's camp finally broke their silence, saying they're fully cooperating. But insiders claim that's just polished code for quiet bargaining behind closed doors. Sources say agents seized encrypted tablets, private phones, and digital files, possibly tied to LeBron's travel logs and game day movements going all the way back to 2022. The same time Damon Jones started popping up around the Lakers again. Coincidence? Not likely. Now the whispers are getting louder. This betting scandal might just be the tip of the iceberg. Investigators could be chasing a money trail that stretches from NBA locker rooms to Hollywood's elite circles. One analyst straight up said it, Operation Nothing But Bet goes way beyond gambling. The feds are now digging into possible money laundering, with millions funneled through fake sponsorships, charity galas, and flashy luxury events. The perfect setup for dirty cash to move in plain sight. If even one trail leads back to Damon Jones or anyone in LeBron's circle, the fallout entire story takes a chilling twist. The investigation, the rumors, the headlines, everything just flipped upside down. When federal agents raided LeBron's properties, it wasn't just about gambling anymore. It was about mapping his social circle, and that trail suddenly led them straight into the entertainment world. What started as a simple sports betting probe has now reached deep into Hollywood's private scene, touching celebrity events, hidden finances, and secret guest lists. One powerful music mogul, recently sentenced to over 4 years in prison for illicit business dealings, is now at the center of this tangled web. His empire already collapsed, but what shocked everyone is how quickly LeBron's name started surfacing alongside his. Almost overnight, an old video began circulating online. LeBron on Instagram Live, laughing beside that same mogul saying, "Ain't no party like his party." Back then, it looked harmless, just another celebrity moment. But now, people are watching every frame, analyzing his tone, his smile, his body language, asking if there was more behind that line. Now, to be clear, LeBron hasn't been accused of any crimes, but insiders claim his name came up in conversations about guests who attended those infamous private gatherings, the same ones federal testimony described as way darker than the glamorous images once flaunted online. LeBron's legal team refuses to speak, and the Lakers are staying completely silent, but that silence is making everything look worse. Behind the scenes, prosecutors quietly expanded Operation Nothing But Bet, pulling new financial data tied to the music mogul's collapsed business network.
I only knew about Terry.
I think on the whole, we all are very responsible. The integrity of the game is fine. Everybody is very mindful of, what to do, what not to do, and understanding the landscape of, sports right now in general, and that's not just an NBA thing.
It's a tough moment for the individuals involved. It's a tough moment for the league, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, man, y'all partner with a gambling company. You open a can of worms. Partnering with gambling companies ain't make gambling more accessible to us. The accessibility is what it is.
Internal documents even mention cross-referenced ledgers, hinting that some of the same middlemen may have handled both Damon Jones's betting money and the mogul's entertainment cash. This investigation just went from sports scandal to Hollywood chaos, and it's nowhere near over. Subscribe now, because the next reveal could flip LeBron's legacy forever. That's when investigators noticed something huge. The same names showing up on both the cash flow charts and the guest lists. Behind the scenes, publicists are scrambling, sponsors are freezing deals, and 2 major brands have already hit pause on their partnerships with LeBron. NBA insiders aren't even asking about Damon Jones anymore. Now, they're whispering about what LeBron really knew about those secret parties. And those whispers, they're getting louder, coming straight from people who once moved inside the music mogul's private circle. One former event promoter even claims LeBron's name appeared in guest coordination messages as far back as 2018. Those files haven't been released publicly, but investigators reportedly have them in hand. Another insider says FBI agents found contact logs on the mogul's security phones listing top athletes by name. And yes, LeBron's was allegedly there too. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but the internet is in full meltdown mode. Online sleuths are piecing together screenshots, timestamps, and private messages like they're solving a Hollywood crime movie. Sources say several texts pulled from the FBI raid at LeBron's mansion are now being analyzed for potential links to private events in Los Angeles and Miami. Some connected to encrypted group chats from the mogul's management team. Nobody knows if those convos were just business or something deeper. But one thing's clear, LeBron's silence feels way too calculated. LeBron's always been famous for one thing besides basketball: loyalty. He never forgets the people who climbed with him from Akron to global fame. That loyalty built a brotherhood that's followed him city to city, from Cleveland to Miami, LA, and back. But investigators are starting to see that same loyalty as a liability. Sources say some of LeBron's longtime friends, guys with no official Lakers roles, were spotted hanging around practices, team flights, and private hotel areas. They were everywhere, and it blurred the line between business and friendship in ways that now look suspicious. According to insiders, those blurry boundaries inside LeBron's circle have been a thing for years. When someone questioned who these people were or why they were allowed in private team spaces, the answer was always the same: they're with Bron. Now, that answer might come back to haunt him. If LeBron wanted someone around, they stayed. No questions asked. It perfectly fit his public image as the loyal, self-made icon who never forgot the people who helped him rise. But now, under Operation Nothing But Bet, investigators are tearing into that very loyalty, asking if LeBron's trust in longtime friends like Damon Jones or certain entertainment insiders opened the door for confidential team info to leak out. Former teammates are finally speaking up, admitting LeBron had been quietly warned multiple times about the people surrounding him, especially those with shady money ties and suspicious business connections. But LeBron, he always brushed it off. To him, loyalty wasn't just a principle, it was sacred. And that unshakable loyalty might have become his biggest blind spot, the one weakness others could easily use for their own gain. Psychologists say that fame at LeBron's level can warp your sense of reality. When your best friends turn into employees and your circle becomes your empire, loyalty slowly turns into dependency. And in that world, the same people who protect your image can be the very ones selling your secrets behind your back. Experts say this constant pressure creates small, suffocating inner circles where criticism dies and loyalty becomes law. In that world, trust isn't earned, it's traded. And when that trust cracks, everything collapses. Now, with the FBI combing through LeBron's communication records, financial logs, and encrypted chats, those cracks are finally showing for the whole world to see. Sources close to the case believe LeBron's blind loyalty might be the missing link, the thread connecting the NBA's underground betting ring, hidden entertainment money, and the secret social network that tied him to that fallen Hollywood mogul. For investigators, this isn't just about greed anymore. It's about a man so devoted to protecting his people that he might have forgotten where the line between friendship and business actually was.
And we all know the letter of the law when it comes to gambling and sports gambling. And I don't want to sit up here like I'm some perfect guy. Like every now and then when I go to Vegas, I'll play some craps, and I'm ashamed that those guys will put their families and their careers in jeopardy. There's an old saying in the hood, all money ain't good money. So if you're making $9 million and you're dealing in certain things, like how much more do you need? Especially if you know you get caught, you can do jail time, lose your career, put a bad image on yourself or your family or on the NBA.
And now, that same loyalty could be the reason agents are ripping apart his most private world. Every text, every message, every deal. The spotlight's shifted completely. This isn't just a sports scandal anymore. It's a full-blown mystery of power, fame, and secrecy. Stay tuned and subscribe right now, because what's about to drop next could blow the lid off everything. For years, LeBron James was the gold standard of discipline. Sharp, composed, and always in control. But that flawless image, it's starting to crack. Analysts say his sudden disappearance from high-profile charity galas and public events screams one thing: damage control. One LAPR insider put it bluntly: when someone like LeBron goes silent, it means the lawyers just took the wheel. Now the internet's going crazy. Online sleuths and conspiracy junkies are linking Operation Nothing But Bet to the fallen music mogul's case, connecting dots between offshore accounts, fake charities, and luxury fundraisers that allegedly doubled as secret power meetings. None of it's confirmed, but every time a new court document gets unsealed, social media erupts into another digital manhunt. Fans are analyzing flight logs, event photos, and timestamps showing LeBron in the same cities where those underground gatherings allegedly took place. And through it all, LeBron stays silent. No posts, no statements, no interviews, nothing. But at this point, that silence doesn't feel peaceful. It feels strategic. For nearly 2 decades, LeBron built his empire on control. Every step he took was calculated. Every camera angle, every soundbite, every tweet, from blockbuster brand deals and Hollywood ventures to his family-friendly image and political moves, he mastered the art of perfection. He wasn't just a basketball icon, he was a brand, a blueprint for modern fame. But that polished fortress he built, it's showing cracks, deep ones. Between federal subpoenas, encrypted data leaks, and unsettling whispers from the Hollywood scene he once brushed shoulders with, the questions are getting darker. People are starting to wonder if LeBron's legendary loyalty to his circle might have stretched too far. Was his trust taken advantage of, or are we witnessing the early stages of a massive cover-up unraveling in real time? This isn't just about LeBron anymore. It's about what happens when fame, money, and blind trust collide under the bright lights of power. Every new leak, every new witness, every unexplained silence adds another crack in the empire he spent 20 years building. The truth hasn't surfaced yet, but when it does, it could shatter everything we thought we knew about fame, loyalty, and what it really costs to stay on top. So, what do you think went down behind the scenes? Is LeBron's silence just smart strategy? Or is there something deeper he doesn't want the world to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates before the next bombshell drops. Thanks for watching. This story is only getting crazier, so don't miss what's coming next. Smash that like button, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe so you never miss another wild twist from the world of fame, power, and basketball drama. Stay locked in. The next drop's gonna be insane.